little breaking news that we have been waiting for. What in the world was going to happen with James Harden? As we check in on our social life, the social temperature, we see just in from Shams Charania, James Harden is opting into his $35.6 million deal for next season. In order for the 10-time All-Starter and the 76ers to work together on a trade out of Philadelphia. Okay, so what this means, James Harden is going to opt into his deal, but he won't actually play another game for the Sixers. Slick, break down the ration behind that for the viewers at home.
So what this means is that the Philadelphia 76ers are not willing to give him the kind of contract that he wanted. The whole idea was that he signed this team-friendly deal so they could sign P.J. Tucker, that he would opt out this year, and then they would give him his bag, which tells me that Daryl Morey no longer has the juice that he once did, because he and Harden have been boys for a while now. He's the reason that Harden is there.
Daryl Morey's role for the Sixers.
Daryl Morey is the team president, GM. He's in charge of personnel. And there's been some talk about, like, they're not getting where they need to go. And he was the one who brought Harden in, and the Ben Simmons thing didn't work out. Like, all of these elements. And so it'll be very interesting to see what the next shoe is that drops. And the teams, as far as the Clippers and the Knicks, are very curious destinations, because looking just at the contracts that they'd have to send back the other way, like Paul George makes $10 million more.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's an even trade. So you'd have to aggregate a couple players to be able to make it work. And like Harden, Brunson in the backcourt in New York.
Am I wrong for saying nobody should want to touch James Harden? Am I wrong for that?
You ain't wrong.
In college,
you ain't tripping.
In college, my coach said this. This is one of the most offensive statements I've ever heard in my life. He said it to a player. It was a four-star cornerback. He said, "You know Midas. Everything he touched turns to gold.
Gold, that's right.
Or everything you touch turns to."
Oh.
And I feel like James Harden.
He said that to you?
No. Of course not. I feel like.
Of course not.
I feel like, shout out Will Muschamp. I feel like everything James Harden touches turns to chaos.
Ain't lying.
I won't say it turns to poop, but I will say it turns to chaos, because Houston, particularly upon the exit, extremely and utterly chaotic. Brooklyn, extremely and utterly chaotic. The Sixers, Harden arrives. Now, his Sixers obviously have been in some turmoil themselves, but the Sixers, chaotic. If you are an NBA franchise that desires championships, not stardom, why in the world, Shady, would you want to acquire James Harden? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't want him. And I'm a Sixer fan for sure. I mean, it's just, when I watch the plays, like I think we're so stuck on what it used to be, who it used to be. Oh, James Harden, and the name is a big name until you see him up close and personal, right? I mean, I don't see no more explosion. He still looks quick. He can't get to the hole the same.
All right, hold on a second.
He don't have the same lift. It's over for him.
Hold on a
Slick.
second. How can you be...
He's washed. He's washed. I'm going to say it, bro.
How can you be as big of a Kyrie fan as you are? And be that negative about James Harden? What's the distinction between those two guys?
It's not that I'm not being negative. It's not that I'm being negative. I'm being honest.
You're being a hater.
Like, I wanted him.
James Harden.
I'm not hating on him. I wanted him to do well for my team, my Sixers. But when I watch him, he has a 40-point game one. And he disappears. When we need you most, you disappear. We need you most, you disappear.
And Kyrie?
So this segment's not about Kyrie Irving.
Not yet.
And then another thing, like,
inconvenient truth.
If I want to win, he's not one of the options I'm going to get. I don't think that winning is
his priority.
It's his main thing that he wants to really do.
Joy, do you think that is for James Harden? Is James Harden a conduit to success? You think winning is his priority? Would you want James Harden? Where do you stand?
I mean, we're not being serious. He's not a serious person. Like, this is not, right? I mean, we know what James Harden's priorities are. Like, he makes a lot of money. He can have moments where he puts up some shots, but they had an opportunity this year. Like, the opportunity was there.
It was there for the taking.
It was right there. All you got to do is, like, hit some buckets, just a few, just
a few.
Just hit a few in the fourth quarter, and no points in the fourth quarter in the last 3 games of that series. It's 0, none, donut. How?
He did win game 1 all by himself.
He did?
Okay.
1 game, yes, great.
He's good for 1 game. He is good for 1 game.
There's lots of guys throughout this postseason alone that we could point to and say, that guy did this, that won this 1 game.
But you guys got to help me out here. Like, Joy, are you with Shady in terms of you're making a distinction between
That many.
Kyrie and
This many.
give me what Kyrie
Why
did.
we keep talking about Kyrie?
I don't know why we're talking about Kyrie either.
This is for James Harden right
because
here.
your view of Harden is so disparate
Pause.
from your view of Kyrie.
She paused us.
Kyrie has a ring.
James ain't seen no ring.
With LeBron.
I don't think.
I don't care who you want to win.
But I don't think James cares about
Did
getting a ring,
Kyrie
though.
hit that
7
shot?
years ago.
Did Kyrie hit that shot?
Okay, but if we're talking about Kyrie Irving right now and James Harden right now, tell me what the great distinction is
I'm gonna tell
between
you one
the
of them
two.
is this.
Because you guys are singing the praises of
not-
if
I'm
not
if
singing
anything
the-
can
I'm
only
not
get
singing the
I
Kyrie.
think
praises of
Kyrie wants to win a championship. I think James Harden wants to get some buckets, 1 foot in the club.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.